Good afternoon, board members, superintendent. First of all, I want to thank you guys for your service and your dedication to all students in Aldine ISD. I stand before you today to ask you to please consider the issue that's going on with the guy who's about to lose his home in his church. Because if that was you guys, what would you do? So I'm asking you tonight to really consider and reach out to the guy, talk to him and see what solution we can come up with and help him with this issue. Thank you.
Ms. Upchurch. Ms. Robinson. 2 minutes on the clock, please.
Good evening, Board Trustees and Superintendent Goffney. My name is Ruben Salazar, and I'm an East Aldine resident and a community organizer and advocate, but I most notably serve as president of the East Aldine Civic Association. I come before you today to demand an immediate stop to this egregious use of eminent domain that has been taken by the school district. I stand in solidarity with the Upchurch family, as many of our other East Aldine residents who plead with you to not have such an absent-minded and careless attitude towards this issue. The Upchurch family has been part of the Aldine community even before this district came into existence. Their family history and legacy are directly tied to the history of this community. The fact that this family can still call their community their home is a testament to their unwavering loyalty and love and admiration they have for Aldine. However, this school district decided to look blindly past all that and use the power of eminent domain in order to forcibly remove Mr. Upchurch from his property, which has been his family for generations, perhaps longer than some of you all have been alive. I cannot begin to imagine what the Upchurch family is feeling right now, having your property forcibly taken from you for something as stupid as a parking lot. Is something that no person, no matter where you live, should have to endure. And I've tried to comprehend how on earth you all with good conscience can vote to support and grant authorization to something like this. And you all know as well as I do, for the amount of people that actually attend our graduation ceremonies and our football games, that amount of parking spaces that's over there is quite enough. So let me just go ahead. I only have 27 seconds left. Let me just remind you all that, and everyone else here, some of you board members are up for re-election, and the bond that you all propose is on the ballot as well. So should you all choose to continue pushing this ridiculous act forward, I will do my damn best to make sure that we have new trustees elected on this board, and that we say no to this proposed bond that you put forward, because we need members on this board and in this district that are going to stand up and do the right thing for the loyal, tax-paying, and law-abiding citizens of this district. I can say for the first time that I'm ashamed to be an Aldine ISD alumni, and you all should be ashamed of yourselves as well.
That's right, that's right.
Hello. Hello. My name is Sean McDaniel, and Travis Upchurch is my father-in-law. During the July board meeting earlier this year, you all acknowledged that the district received 28 public comments regarding the property at 1810 Aldine Meadows. Whereas during the August board meeting, you conveniently left out the fact of the number of public comments received during that time. I'm here to let you and everyone else know that over 200 additional comments were received during that time frame, and not one of those comments agrees with taking an elderly man from his home for some precious concrete. At the previous board meeting, you all made comments about how you were voted in by the community, and that you listened to the community, and that you hire people to advise you as to best serve the community. But what community are you referring to or listening to in this instance? Our family and this community are perplexed as to why the district is relentlessly moving forward with stripping an elderly man from his home. It is pretty obvious by now that you've been given bad counsel and are not acting in the spirit of or on behalf of this community. The ends simply do not justify the means. There is no community without compassion, and compassion is something this board is clearly lacking as it relates to Travis Upchurch. What if this was your own elderly parent being pushed aside from the only home he or she knew for some unneeded concrete? Or better yet, put yourself in Travis's shoes. Would you like to be treated as such when you're almost 80 years of age? You all seem like good church-going people, yet none of this seems very church-like. There's still time to reverse course and fix this. Make this community proud and do what's right. Thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Booker, and esteemed members of the board. I actually have some stuff to pass out, if that's okay. It is some of my dad's medical records, some history on our family in Aldine, an example of an agreement that would allow both of us to get what we want, and it's also a reminder to be kind. Why are we coming here again to address you on the same issue month after month? I know that you're caring community leaders, so why have you allowed the situation to escalate? As of mid-August, you've received 300 comments or more about our dad's home, and they all agree with us that you're doing the wrong thing. You're relentless in your pursuit to take our dad's home, but we're relentless too. I often wonder if Aldine is too big to care. Is it the company you hired out of Boston to redesign Thorne Stadium that is pressing so hard to take our dad's home? They don't know about our Aldine spirit or our history. Why would you let them tell you, the ones in charge, what to do? Did a staff member give you bad counsel before you voted to take our dad's home? Why would you protect them to sacrifice yourselves? Re-elections are coming up in November for most of you, and I don't know why you'd want to put your seat in jeopardy over this. I would like to say that we did have a constructive meeting yesterday with your representatives, and it is my greatest wish that you will work with us and our family. Please don't let this decision go in other people's hands. You've declined an option for a life estate, but public entities in Texas have used these in the past to acquire property. A right of first refusal or a long-term lease back, like what you have with our neighbor down the street, would be an excellent option as well. I ask you once again to please work with us so that we both win. You hold the power, and if it wasn't clear before tonight, please understand that no one is backing you on this. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak on the behalf of my father, Travis J. Upchurch Jr. My name is Tina Robinson, and I am the daughter of Travis J. Upchurch Jr., who is being removed from his home by this current school board through eminent domain. I am proud to say that I am a retired public school teacher of 31 years and a wife of a Texas high school football coach. I am very familiar with how a school board can impact and play an important role in providing a positive working relationship for the community, faculty, and students. The people in your district voted you in as a member of this board because they trusted you and felt that you could make wise decisions for the betterment of their tax dollars in educating their children. Tonight I stand before you fighting for my father's homestead, where he has lived for over 75 years and is now being taken away by the board through eminent domain. This is not the way a school board brings together a community and attracts future people to move here. Who would want to be a part of this school district that does not care for its own? I know for certain that I would not consider this as a place to teach or have my children attend school here because of the way this board has dealt with my father's situation. Being a wife of a highly successful football coach, I've had the opportunity to watch his teams play in some incredible football stadiums in this area, such as the Berry Center in Cypress, Texas, Legacy Stadium in Katy, Texas, and the recently built Tomball ISD Stadium in Tomball, Texas, just to name a few. And I can clearly state that Thorne Stadium, with all its new bells and whistles that you approved, would not be a stadium that his team would consider. I understand the need for available playoff sites, but the stadium, with its location and lack of surrounding amenities, will not attract playoff sites after the first round of playoff games, I can assure you. It is my understanding that this project is over budget by $16 million, which is totally not the best use of hard-earned tax dollars. In conclusion, I want it to be known to everyone here tonight that my father's legacy will be one of, first and foremost, a man who has always put his family first by showing his love and commitment to Travis, Tara, and me, his grandsons Taylor and Kate, and his granddaughters Lydia and Kara, along with other extended family members. His work ethic is one that the youth of today need to emulate because he woke up at the crack of dawn every morning and went to work until he retired at the ripe young age of 73.
I totally disagree with what's going on, and I know there is something that everybody can come together to let this gentleman stay in his home. I know my parents were taken out of their home because of water damage and what it did to them. Being out of their home, it made their dementia and their Alzheimer accelerate. And I know through doctors telling us that it's not good to move the elderly. I just feel like y'all can come to some agreement. There's other things out there that maybe y'all didn't get all the information in the beginning, and maybe additional information has come. Hopefully you'll have a kind enough heart to let this gentleman have dignity and respect to live in his house until his end. Thank you.
Jessica Miller.
Hi, thank you so much for letting me come. A person's home holds an intrinsic value that extends far beyond its physical structure and monetary worth. Preserving a cherished home should be considered more valuable than a mere section of parking lot that is unlikely to be used or whatever else you all have intended for that space. I want you to consider, if you would, these things for your own father. Emotional attachment and memories. A home holds a lifetime of memories, experiences, and sentimental value. Each corner and room tells a unique story, reminding this man of the moments shared with his family, friends, and loved ones. These memories are deeply intertwined with the physical space and can offer comfort, joy, and a sense of community. Familiarity and comfort. Familiar surroundings contribute significantly to an individual's well-being, especially as they age. This man likely has known his home inside and out, making navigation easy and comfortable. A new living situation, even in a retirement community, may take time to adapt to and could potentially lead to feelings of displacement. A sense of independence. Homeownership provides a sense of autonomy and control that can positively impact a person's self-esteem. Staying in his home allows him to maintain independence and make choices that align with his preferences, routines, and lifestyle. I see that I'm running out of time, so I'll quickly bullet these. Community and social connection. Health and emotional well-being, maintaining his dignity, his support network, and in conclusion, retaining that this elderly man's home can offer him emotional, physical, and psychological benefits that are deeply rooted in the place that he has called home for decades. This decision to keep his home will give him the best chance to age gracefully and maintain a high quality of life while honoring his personal history and the memories he's created. My father died of a traumatic brain injury due to an accidental fall a few months ago. We didn't see it coming, we couldn't prevent it. You are doing something intentional, and you still have the opportunity to change. Please consider that.
Carlos Silva.
Good evening, board. You threw me for a curveball. I had a 3-minute remarks and a 1-minute remark, and I get 2 minutes. So let's do the 1-minute remark at a more casual pace, shall we? Dr. Booker, Superintendent Goffney, esteemed members of the board. My name is Carlos Silva. I'm a proud alumni of Nimitz, class of 2000, and I also happen to serve as chairman of the board of directors at the East Aldine Management District. I'm here to appeal to you to stop the eminent domain proceedings against Mr. Upchurch and his property on Aldine Meadows. I know what it's like to make decisions on a board. I can relate. You rely on the information that you're given to make the best decision that you can. But as a board, you reserve the right to make changes to those decisions and re-vote, if needed, to make an even better choice when new information warrants such action. This is such an occasion. You were given incomplete information when you were initially asked to vote on the ED matter. But now that you know what's at stake, you're entitled and obligated to make a better choice. Do not let the inertia of an ill-informed decision win the day. We all lose if that happens. The buck stops with the board. You know that. We know that. When AISD goes from giving away backpacks to taking away backyards, something has gone seriously wrong, and something needs to change. There's an opportunity for you all to be the hero in the story and not the villain. You have the unique opportunity to flip this story on its head, and I would implore you to do that. Thank you in advance for demonstrating the moral courage to do the right thing. Thank you.
Jerry Wayne Cassidy.
Good evening. My name's Jerry Cassidy, and I've known the Upchurch family since 1981. Respect them very much. I know through the years I have learned that they've pretty much settled Aldine, been here since 1905, lived in this residence since 1960. As a commissioner in my county, I'm not a voter here in my county, I've been asked about eminent domain before, and I laid my foot down. I said it won't happen with me, never. This man, this family, they've paid taxes. I don't even know when school taxes started. I didn't have them in 1905, but they've paid them ever since they started. It's their land. It's not yours to make that decision. It's theirs, what they want to do with it. Whether it's no matter what it is, no matter what they do with it, as long as they're legal, as long as they don't break laws, it's their decision to do what they do to their land. As a commissioner, when I go meet people, I tell myself every time, you're here to find a solution. Do not create a bigger problem. And if y'all do eminent domain, y'all are creating a bigger problem for everybody, because it won't stop there. You'll keep pursuing, keep going, and you have no right to take this man's property that they've paid for all these years. Thank you.
Travis Upchurch.
Thank you, Dr. Booker, Dr. Goffney, the board, and all of our guests, and everyone else within the sound of my voice. My family and I met with the school district yesterday, and we had a very open and honest conversation. We learned that in the 89-year history of Aldine ISD, this is the first eminent domain action by the district. This is also my family's first experience with eminent domain as well. I look forward to learning and working together with the school district on a compromise that allows my dad to stay and does not block progress for Aldine students. My dad's place has elements that speak to the history of people who have come and gone. Large pecan trees that are native to Texas and enjoyed for food and shade as long as people have been in this state. Fig trees brought by Spanish settlers hundreds of years ago that were a source of industry in early Aldine. Some of the 50 to 100-year-old trees and the land they sit on could serve as a recreation area, staff park, or excursion area for art classes. It's a little overgrown now, but we want to work with the district if allowing my dad to stay requires groundskeeping on our part. We want to preserve for the district what history we can. This could stand to be a teachable moment for us, the district and the public. We look forward to working with you on a compromise and showing everyone that Aldine is still the neighborly, friendly place it always has been. The hundreds of public comments submitted have all been in opposition to this action by the district. Let's keep working together and fix this. It's what good neighbors do.
Nikki Steele.
Superintendent Goffney, Dr. Booker, esteemed members of the board, thank you for giving me the opportunity to address the issue that has been weighing heavily on our hearts, the unjust use of eminent domain in the case of my friend's father's home, Mr. Upchurch. Aldine ISD has been an integral part of our community, fostering the growth and education of countless generations. We respect and support your mission, but today we urge you to consider the human cost of your actions. Eminent domain should be a last resort, reserved for projects that truly benefit the greater good. While we understand the need for progress, there are alternatives that can be explored. We propose that Aldine ISD allows my friend's father to stay on this property until his last days, after which it can be turned into a park. The 100-year-old pecan trees have historical significance and can provide much-needed shade in the summertime. The community that will enjoy the proposed Performing Arts Center and the stadium would also enjoy some much-needed nature in a sea of concrete. This compromise would respect the dignity of my friend's father's final years while allowing Aldine ISD to fulfill its vision for the future. A park would be a testament to his family and their generations of lifelong contributions. Let us remember that justice is not just a concept, but a lived experience. It's about fairness, compassion, and empathy. It's about recognizing the value of one man's home and the legacy he leaves behind. I urge you to reconsider the use of eminent domain in this case and choose a path that embodies the principles of justice and community. Together we can find a solution that benefits everyone and ensures my friend's father's, Mr. Upchurch's, final days are spent in peace, surrounded by the familiar comfort of his home. Thank you for your time and consideration.
This is Marty Hughes.
I appreciate very much that you allowed me to come up here tonight and talk on this matter. I don't know the Upchurches, I don't know the family, but I heard about their plight and felt compelled to come out and talk real quick this evening. I'll keep it quick. I'd like to offer just an alternative solution. Mr. Upchurch's property is 1 acre, which would provide about 125 parking spaces. Around the stadium area, the ISD owns ISD owns 28 acres of undeveloped land. Possibly we could look at some of those other not adjoining, but across the street properties as a possibility to develop into a parking lot. So I just ask that you allow Mr. Upchurch to have his property and live out his life. Thank you very much.
All right, I don't want to mess up this last name. Miss Andrea?
Hi, thank you for allowing me to speak. I also do not know the Upchurch family. I have very deep Aldine roots. I graduated from Aldine. My brother and sister graduated from Aldine. My mother was a teacher's aide in Aldine High School. I have very deep roots. When I heard about this story, it tugged at my heart and also pulled those Aldine roots out of the ground. I'm here today to ask you not to take his home. I'm here to ask you, have you thought what this will do to his mental health, to his physical health? Is that something that you're willing to do? Is that something you're willing to compromise of this man and his family? Also, wouldn't there be a better use of funds, security for the schools, programs for kids at risk, rather than 125 parking places? I think there's better use for the funds than to take this man's house from him. I ask you to put yourself in his shoes, not being the child, but being the person that you're being taken away from your home. How would you feel? Would you like it? The last thing I have to say is going to Aldine, I had many life lessons and I learned right from wrong. This is wrong and you can make it right. Thank you.
First name is Willie. Thank you.
Thank you all for having us here this evening. I wouldn't disagree with anything anyone said, but I've got a different take. Maybe leave him in place. 79 years of Aldine history, before any of us were here, before most of us were thought of, he was here. And leave him in place, invite him into the schools, and let him tell the children how it was. Before the airport, before the mall, before industry moved this way. There's a wealth of knowledge right here. What a waste to send it down the road. Thank you.
Wow.
Robert Cullen.
Thank you, Board, for being here this evening. I'd like to make this statement that they need to refrain from taking his property. That Mr. W. Thorne was here, he would not approve of this. He was disappointed when good schools were torn down and replaced. And I hope y'all think about this. That this Upchurch has to leave after all these years, his homestead. Thank you.
First name is Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris Sestaita. Thank you, board members. I just want to release this, that this is about his plight here. 1 Kings 21, and this stood out to me. My name is Chris Sestaita, and I'm with Green Forest Civic Club and a grandmother and a ministry leader. The Lord forbid that I should give the inheritance of my fathers to you, which is his land. So it's biblical. And what this man and his family are fighting for is their inheritance. It is God-given. It's their inheritance. A inheritance from them to their children, to their grandchildren, and grandchildren, and grandchildren, and grandchildren. And it is up to them to what they want to do with it. It is God-given. And God honors that. And if you honor that, then God will honor you. So I would suggest that let them keep their land, build around it. And like his daughter said, I've seen state-of-the-art of stadiums, and this one can never be anything like what I've seen. I have seen state-of-the-art stadiums. Whatever you do here will not get anything near it. There's not enough land to do it. And the only other thing I would say is, what would you do if you were faced with the same situation? If it was one of your family members, what would you do? How would it affect your heart? So I ask you to consider that this is an inheritance given to this man, his father, his great-grandfather, and it is an inheritance from God. Thank you.